Hello, welcome to Math Companion. This is a super tricky Olympiad question. Now, here is the trick. If you look at here, we have minus 2 times 3x squared plus x plus 6. This is the trick. Now, clearly, this equation has been developed in the same concept, or rather from binomial expansion. So for example, in a binomial expansion of a minus b squared should be equals to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Now, if we have to align all this to the equation, it actually means that I'm going to write this afresh down here. So if you have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So therefore, all these can be compared to a squared, and what we have over here is compared to b squared. Now therefore, all that we need is this. We are going to say a squared is simply equal to 3 to power 2x squared. So 3 to power 2x squared. Now this can also be written as a squared is simply equal to 3x squared and then to power 2. Now let us examine b squared. B squared is also equal to 3 to power 2, then you have x plus 6. This one can also be written as 3 to power x plus 6, and then all this squared. Now, our next step for each of these, if then I need to get a, it is simply going to be the square root of 3 to power x squared, then to power x squared 2, which is finally going to be, our a is 3 to power x squared. So a is equals to 3 to power x squared. In the same way, over here, our b is simply going to be the square root of 3 to power x plus 6, all this squared, which then our b is going to be equal to 3 to power x plus 6. Now we know what is exactly our b and what is going to be our a. Now, therefore, we are going to write it in a simplified form from this part of the equation here. So we can therefore say a minus b into bracket squared is just equal to, it's going to be equal to 3 to power x squared minus 3 to power x plus 6. And remember, all this is just equated to 0. Remember, there is a square here. Therefore, this would mean 3 to power x squared. If you look for a square root on both sides, it's going to be 3 to power x squared minus 3 to power x plus 6 is simply equal to 0. Interesting, right? Now, moving this part here to the other side of the equal sign. Now we are going to move this one to this end. This is going to give us this kind of a solution. Now we are going to therefore have, this is going to be 3 to power x squared is equals to 3 to power x plus 6. Now, because the bases are the same, we are going to cancel out these two bases. And therefore, we'll be left with x squared is equals to x plus 6. Now, I'm very happy that now at this point, we have actually formed a quadratic equation, which is going to be x squared minus 6x, x squared minus x minus 6 is equals to 0. Now, our next step that is left is actually trying to solve the quadratic equation. Now, solving the quadratic equation, we are going to have x squared minus x minus 6 is equals to 0. We can do this by factorization by trying to look for two numbers. When I add, I'm going to get -1 because -1 is the coefficient of x, the x in the middle. And when I multiply these two numbers, I'm supposed to be getting -6. So the numbers are -3 and 2. And x squared can be split into x and x. So therefore, our factors are x minus 3 and x plus 2, which is equals to 0. Our first solution for x is going to be as a result of x minus 3 is equals to 0. Therefore, our first solution for x will be equals to 3. Now, our next solution will be as a result of x plus 2 is equals to 0. Now, the second solution, our x is going to be -2. Therefore, our two solutions are x is equals to 3 and x is equals to -2. Those are the two solutions. All right, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to get updated every time we post super interesting questions. All right, bye-bye. Have a great time.